Hi everyone, Jamie here from StretchMed Studios, here to bring you your stretch of the day. So welcome, and we're going to get going in a few minutes. If you have a chair, you want to grab one right now, just for a couple of stretches for balance purposes. You can also use a wall behind you. That would work just as fine as well. Before we get going, just want to remind you that you are participating at your own risk. And prior to any exercise or stretch program, you should always consult with your physician first. We are providing this to you as a resource. And if at any point in time you feel any of the stretches are too aggressive for you and you'd want to skip them, please feel free to do so. And if you need to take a break at any time, go ahead and do that. I will be doing some modifications for some of the stretches, and I encourage you to try them all. But I also don't want you to get hurt. So please be careful as we get going with our stretches for our session today. Positive thought of the day is every day that you stretch is going to bring you one step closer to improving and reaching your flexibility goals. So today, by joining us, you have added another step closer to achieving your flexibility goals. So let's get going. We're going to do a full body stretch today with a focus and a concentration on opening up our hips. So you'll see quite a few stretches there where we're focusing in on the hips and the core a little bit today. So let's get going. First things first, we're going to start off standing today, and we're going to start by working on our ITs bands here on the outside of our legs. So I'm going to start by stretching out that left IT band. So what I'm going to do is take my right leg, crisscross it across the front of my body like this, and I'm going to put my hand here on the chair, and all I'm going to do is lean that left hip down into the chair and lean my body away from it. If you have good balance and you want to enhance this stretch, you go ahead and take that left arm over and reach your body away from that left hip while you're driving that left hip in towards the chair. If you don't have strong balance or you really want to focus on just the IT band, you're just going to stay right here like this, and we're just going to hold this stretch. Good. Now we're going to switch. So now that left leg is going to come over the front of the right leg, and I'm going to stay holding the chair here. I'm just going to lean away from the chair. If you want to turn around, you can turn around on that chair. I'm just going to lean here like this, away, feeling that stretch now in my right IT band, and I can take that right arm and really reach. So I'm reaching away from the right side of my body here towards the left side, and I'm pushing that right hip down and out. And if you're still facing the chair, then you're pushing that hip down and in towards the chair if you're here like this, okay? I'm just gonna hold a little bit longer here. Keep the right way, just hold. Good. Now we're gonna come up, continue to hold the chair here for balance purposes if you need to. We're gonna do some quad stretches. So I'm gonna start with my left leg here. I'm gonna put my right hand on the chair. I'm gonna grab my left foot, as you can see, just above my ankle, and I'm just going to pull that leg in towards my butt. So my heel is coming in towards my bum. Okay, those of you with good balance, you can go ahead and you can hold right here like this. If I can find my balance, here we go. And you can hold just like this, just pulling that heel in towards your bum. I said each one we hold for about 15 to 20 seconds. Good. Now we're going to switch and do the same thing with that right quad. So grab just above that ankle joint here and just pull that heel in towards your bum, standing nice and tall, keeping that leg perpendicular to the floor. We're going to get into the hip flexors in a little bit. Again, working that balance if you want to, otherwise holding the chair. Okay, now we're going to work on a figure 4 position where we're standing. So what we're going to do is, again, chair is here for balance if you need it. I'm going to take that left foot and bring it up just above the right knee. You can see I'm making a figure 4 here. And all you're going to do is sit down and back into it. So if I turn to my side, you can put both hands on the chair if you'd like as well, and sit down and back. And you will feel that stretch in that left hip as you come down and sit. If you want to enhance the stretch, you can put that right hand on the left knee as well. And for those of you with great balance, you may be here just like this, sitting in this stretch, trying to get down as deep as you can. Good. Pull a little bit longer. Again, go as deep as you can. Some of you may be here, some of you may be down almost parallel to the floor. It's all going to be based on your hip flexibility. Just continue to work through it. So we're here. And now we're going to come up, and now we're going to switch. Sitting on that left leg. Again, you can have both hands on the chair if you want to. Right leg comes up just above the knee. You can see my figure 4. And I'm going to sit down and back into this stretch. Again, you can put that right hand on that right knee and hold here as you sit back to intensify the stretch a little bit. And you can also work on your balance right here. And just hold. It's a tough one, but it really works the core. You can really feel it opening up through that hip as well. A few more seconds here, just hold. You can continue to work on getting a little bit lower through the stretch. Great. Now we're going to come on up. Now we're going to start a series on the floor. So I'm going to adjust my computer just a little bit so that we can see my mat here, and you can see what I'm doing while we're down on the floor here. So that looks like it'll work well. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start by stepping forward with our left leg. So our left leg is forward, right leg is back. And we're just going to come down into our kneeling lunge. So right now we're going to work on stretching out that right hip flexor right here. All we're going to do is lean down and forward. And I want us to get a little bit of a stretch into our upper body. So what I want you to do is take your hands and reach forward like this, pulling those shoulder blades away from each other, head down. So we're getting a stretch here. We're coming up, and then we're pulling those shoulders back. Good. Now from here, what I want you to do is that foot's going to come up, heel of that left leg, and we're just going to sit back in that hamstring stretch, and here, reach forward, again, stretching through our back. Still working on getting a little bit of stretching for our upper body while we're focusing here on our hips. Good. Now we're going to come up here. Now you're in this position. What I want you to do is drop down to your left side so that left leg stays in front of you, right leg stays behind you, and you're in a 90-90. I'm going to turn to the front so you can see me a little bit better here. When we're here, I don't want you off to the side like this. I really want you to work on sitting up nice and tall and straight. That's the goal of this 90-90 stretch here. And once you're up nice and tall, if you need to use your hand to help hold you up, that's okay. Eventually, as you get more flexible, you won't need to. So we're here pushing up through that left hip, And now I want you to just lean forward into that left hip. You'll feel that push down on that left hip. You'll feel it start to open up. Make sure your foot is nice and flat and at a 90-degree angle in front of you. Good. Remember, keep that weight and that body line here in front of your body here, right at the midline. You don't want to be off on the side. So we're up nice and tall. Just leaning forward into it. Good. Now we're going to work on taking the stretch a little bit deeper. So from here, what we're going to do is your leg's going to come in a little bit more to like a 45-degree angle here now. We're going to come up. You're going to take that right leg and extend it back behind you. Okay, and the goal now, you can see I'm straight over my hips, is to sit down, keeping up nice and tall, pushing down through that left hip and into that right hip flexor here. So if I turn to the side so you can see my back leg, I'm here. You can see my leg is back. You may be up like this. You can see I'm not all the way down on the ground. As you work through your flexibility, you'll be able to get lower and lower into this stretch. Okay, again, staying nice and straight over the midline of the body and just pushing down through this stretch. It's called our pigeon stretch. Eventually, you can work on leaning forward and really stretching through this stretch here, like this, and really working on feeling that stretch in through that left hip. If that's too much for you, then you stay right up here to start, okay? Now what we're going to do is going to take our right leg, bring it up. So now we're in our frog position just like this. And we're just going to sit down and back into the stretch and open up through that groin. Good. And hold this stretch like this for a minute. Excellent. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take that right leg now. Right leg is going to come forward. Left leg is going to stay here and come behind us. So now we're back into our 90-90 with the right leg in front, left leg in back. So with our 90-90 here, again, you want to try and sit up as nice and straight and tall as you can. You don't want to be leaning off. So get up nice and tall, sitting up and forward into that right hip. And you're just going to lean down and forward and really just feel that stretch in through that right hip. Making sure that leg is flat at the 90-90 degree angle here. Working on keeping that torso up nice and tall. And lean forward into it just a little bit. Feel this one I can feel much more on my left hip than my right hip. So you may feel one side is tighter than the other, and that's absolutely perfectly fine. Okay, it's normal for one side of our body to be a little bit tighter than the other. So you do what you need to do to feel those stretches and make you feel comfortable in them. Okay, now from here, we're going to go into that pigeon pose. We're going to leave the right leg here, bring it into about a 45-degree angle, extend that left leg back, you're straight over those hips, okay? Again, you may not be completely flat onto the ground. That's okay. You're just going to slowly work on getting as low as you can here, okay? And a little bit of a lean forward, really pushing this hip, this right hip down into the floor, okay? And pushing and extending back with that left leg. Lean forward here. As I lean forward and push down, I can feel an even deeper stretch on that right hip. Good. Okay, now from here, I'm going to come up onto our right knee. So our right knee is now up on that 90-degree angle. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So here we are, just like this. First stretch we're going to do is we're going to lean back, heel up, toes up, sit back down. Now we're going to stretch that right hamstring and calf. Just lean down into it. What I want you to do from here is take those arms behind you, drive them back, and sit. So now we're working on opening up the chest. When we did this stretch the other side, we were working coming forward, working the back. Now we're going to reach back and sit. We get a nice stretch on that hamstring, and we're opening up that chest. Again, just sit as low as you're comfortable for right now. Good. Now we're going to come up, and we're in our lunge. Just going to lean forward, open up that hip, arms out, turn thumbs down, and push back and away. So you're pushing the hip down, and you're pushing back and away, thumbs down, feeling that stretch to the chest and into those biceps. And just hold here. Good. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down. I'm going to come to my side so you can see better. Down onto our stomachs, elbows, hands, and elbows right here by our side. And we're going to push up nice and slow. Again, you go where you're comfortable. If this is where you're comfortable, otherwise your goal is to try and come all the way up like this. You're working to push your pelvis down towards the mat, but you're looking up and back, getting a nice stretch to the back. And you'll feel this through your abdominals in the front as well. Hold. Good. Now from here, I'm going to sit back, bring those legs in just a hair, sit back and drive those shoulders down towards the ground, reaching forward with those hands. Getting a great stretch now through those shoulders, in through the chest, and in through those lats. Just hold. Excellent. Now we're going to come up. And what we're going to do now is going to do a quick stretch for those quads, not for the quads, sorry, for the glutes here on the side and that low back as well. So left leg's going to come across the right leg, right arm comes over on the outside of that left knee, and you're just going to push that knee towards you and turn. You feel a nice stretch to the back. You can also just grab it this way if you want. This one you may feel a little bit more of a glute stretch as well. And just reaching back with that left hand and turning, so you're getting a nice stretch to the back and through that left glute. And I'm just going to hold. Good. Now we're going to come across, do the same thing on the other side. So right leg comes across. You can hug or come across this way, whichever you're more comfortable with. Give a nice pull to that glute. Right arm behind you. Turn. Look back. You're pulling that right glute across the body, and you're turning to your right, feeling a nice stretch in that low back. And we're just going to hold here. Make sure you're keeping your back nice and straight. Don't hunch over. Okay? We're always working to keep our core as straight as we can and strong. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to finish up today with our crisscross applesauce stretch here. You should feel pretty comfortable. We just did a nice job stretching out those hips. And all we're going to do here from now is we're just going to stretch that neck a little bit. Keep that left shoulder down. Right ear towards right shoulder. And then turn and look down. And hold. Now we're going to come up. Now I'm going to work that right side. So right shoulder, keep that down. Okay, don't let it pop up. It stays down like this. Left ear to left shoulder. And now look down, just slightly shifting that stretch into the back of the neck a little bit. Come on up in the center. Sit up nice and tall. Nice deep breath. Those shoulders a shake, give that body a twist. Hopefully those hips feel better. And that is our full body stretch for today with the focus in on opening up those hips. I hope you enjoyed our stretch session, and I look forward to you joining us at our next one. Have a great day.